This is Marty Millman with For Real, and I am here today with director of Kokomo City, Dee Smith. The film will be premiering at this year's Sundance in the next category. Welcome, Dee.
Thank you so much.
And I would love if you could just start by telling us a little bit about the film and a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start with myself. I guess I'm an artist at this point. I I'm a two-time Grammy-nominated producer, and I've worked with a lot of artists, a lot of major artists. It's always been my dream to do music and make a living from that. And I've done well for myself at a point. And I kind of was led to do Kokomo City years after transitioning in the music industry. And the Kokomo City basically is a film about four transgender women that happens to do sex work or used to do sex work or presently do sex work. And, they share the most intimate perspective of transgenderism in their perspective, and kind of talking about the experiences with them and Black men and Black communities at large, right? And in ways that we've discussed, but in private. All of us, all Black people talk this way in private, but we've never talked about it in public. And so we're talking about it in public now.
And so, what sparked the idea for this film with these women?
Well, there are a number of reasons, but I think what comes to my mind first is that after doing music for so long, I was basically blacklisted from the music industry once I started to transition. Um, People just went away. All of my contacts stopped calling and email, and the invites and the opportunity just deplenished, and I went broke within years, couple years, just completely broke. And I let years go by because this is all I know, and I'm thinking, okay, this will pass, and things will get better, pick up again like it always does, and it didn't. And I ended up sleeping on floors and couches and cars, you know, really trying to figure it out, honestly, and going through a Great Depression and a very dark moment in my life. It just felt like everything I loved was taken away from me because of me deciding to publicly be who I am. And a few years ago, I came up with this idea to do a documentary. And I was inspired by that with trans women because, I've always been pretty independent financially because of music and able to work and, take care of myself. But when you're broke and you're hungry and you're desperate and you have not a lot of choices on the table, sex work comes across your mind. Maybe not in the sense of, um, everything, but along those lines, and I've never had to do that. And I thought, damn, I really see why these girls have to do that. I was blessed because as young, from coming up, I'd never had to do anything like that. These girls did. So mine was opposite. I made money and I was successful as a producer, and then I come out as transgender, and then things go away. And it's like, that was tough. You're used to a certain way of taking care of yourself, and it was just gone. So I was inspired because I wanted to shine light on the stories of how these women, particularly the sex work women, will tell their story about their experiences as transgender women and dealing with Black men and the Black community and opportunity in the workspace and the lack of. So that was pretty much the main inspiration to do the film.
And how did you find the transition from music to film and your experience as a first-time director? Like, what was that creative control like for you?
Um, yeah, when I filmed this, there were literally no one but me doing this, carrying the one little light that I had and the camera and the bags. And I don't know, I didn't have much, but that bag was pretty freaking heavy. I don't know, I can't even remember what was in the bag, but it was liberating. It really, really was. I mean, I was so broke, but I felt fulfilled. I was still creating and I was doing something new, but it just felt like something I should have been doing so long ago, you know? And it was liberating because I wasn't taught any of this. So all of the rules and the second guessing myself because this isn't allowed or this isn't allowed or oh, I made a boo-boo, I can't keep that. I was like, I made a boo-boo and I'm gonna keep it. It's like I'm not gonna throw it away. Like, and this girl just dropped incredible gems. So the more I started to film, the more I got more comfortable with the process of filming. And yeah, it was I loved it. I loved the whole entire process of filming. I
Was
lost a lot of footage along the way and stuff, and learned a lot of lessons, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, trying to do doc work, it's hard, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Speaking of like in the beginning, when you first went in, did you have like a roadmap of like, this is kind of where I want the narrative to go? Or did you kind of just film everything and kind of let the footage and the women and their experiences influence what the story became?
Honestly, I I was pretty stern about how I wanted this film to feel. And I explained that to every girl. I was very adamant. I made a big deal about it. Like I was very clear. I was like, the narrative and the presentation of how Black trans women talk about the experiences of transgenderism on the red carpet and in the fancy magazines, we're not doing that. I want us to talk to Black people. I'm not doing this film. I didn't do this film for LGBT people. We already know all of this. I did it for people like my girl cousins, their husbands, my you know women in the workspace. That this language in the film I feel like resonates and it hits closer to home because the girls are not putting on the front with the dialogue. They're talking as if they're talking to their girlfriends, their cousins, their boyfriends. Like everyone was just comfortable with being themselves. And I think it was so refreshing and freeing for them as well. There were no rules, none. There were no rules. I said, the more raw you are, the better. And sometimes, a couple times the girls would kind of get more, I was like, it's not feeling genuine. It's not. And I'll check them and hopefully they'll get on track. And they did. And it worked. I love what happened, with the girls.
And was there a particular reason to go with the stylistic choice of being black and white?
Well, black and white has always been a symbol of truth. It's just even the saying, as simple as black and white, right? And I think for me, visually, black and white is it's so regal and it's timeless and it feels classic, it feels elevated. And I even though the girls are super raw and kind of hood and some of the things, it's still a beautiful moment to watch. It's still beautiful. And why not do it in an elegant way? Why? It's still a language that we've created. This is how Black people talk. Like this is a familiar language here in this country. This is how we talk. And we know when we talk like that, it means we're comfortable, we're confident, we're happy, we feel at home. And so nothing else was distracting from them. And yeah, it's just so exciting to do.
And how long did it take you to film it, edit it, the whole project?
Oh, man. So 2020, I started filming. And we just stopped editing last week, I guess,
Oh, wow.
including sound and color correction, stuff like that. So, but there were some on and off moments because I was dealing with just my private life and me trying to be stable enough to finish the freaking film, staying with friends months and months on end, it could be taxing to people's private lives. And I, as much as they love me and I love them, I had to keep it moving. And, it's like, okay. So there were some interruptions and disruptions, but they all played a part in getting this done.
And I've got one more question for you. So, how was your process of applying to Sundance? Like, how did it come about? Did you already have in mind that you were going to submit this to a few festivals, or did someone see a rough cut, or you just go for it?
I First of all, I'm not going to tell you where I thought this film was going to end up. Okay, I'll tell you. I thought it was going to end up somewhere on YouTube, but I no, I thought the possibility of it going to Sundance, but or something like that, if in the right hands. But I'm like, I wish I could lie and just be like I had it all together, but I was just hoping something major happened, but I didn't have a plan on going to Sundance. One of my producers, Harris Duran, I love him to death. He's just incredible, an incredible producer. He was introduced to me by a friend of mine, and he had seen a trailer. Just from the trailer, he no, I think he had seen the full film, what I had done so far, but he basically, after he's seen it, he sent me a ton of notes, and I just fell in love with him from there because it was a lot of quality, a lot of great stuff in there that I learned within days, from those notes. And he had been in Sundance a couple of times, I believe, like, as an actor and also a filmmaker. So he reached out to someone at Sundance when it was time, and told them about the film and hoped that we could make it. And it's a lot. It was a lot of paperwork, a lot of, I mean, we waited till the very last minute. I mean, like 30 minutes before it was due. Like we were still up like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, oh my God. And we got it done. It wouldn't have gotten done without him, for sure.
And I just want to say congratulations to you. I am so excited to see it.
Thank
And I feel like it's a really big deal. This is the first Sundance back in person. Like,
you.
I'm so excited for you, and I'm excited to experience it myself.
I cannot wait for you to watch it.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have multiple other wonderful interviews, and I will be excited to see you in part two.